Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for logging in at the end of the day. So I'll do my best to give the bit I can. So a little bit about me. My name is Clifford Ndecham. I am an entrepreneur. I'm also a lecturer, and I do a lot of other crazy things. Academic-wise, I started my education at the University of Boya, then continued to the UK, where I did my MBA and my first PhD, and continued to Switzerland, where I did my second PhD. So academic-wise, yes, I'm pretty much studied 2 masters and 2 PhDs. Career-wise, I've been a lecturer with Westminster since 2015. I've been teaching. I started out teaching law, but along the line, I fell in love with business and I was able to migrate. And that's part of what I'll be talking about today, about their skills, being able to develop extra skills, which places you, gives you that competitive edge ahead of others, because I was able to successfully teach business courses, successfully teach law courses. So it placed me at that, it gave me that added advantage over my colleagues. So that's something that we have to bear in mind. Business-wise, I'm the founder of Sky High University Center. Sky High University Center is a higher institute based here in Douala. We offer diploma, HND, BSc, and MBA, and most recently DBA, that's Doctor in Business Administration programs. We are partnered with Zurich Elite Business School in Switzerland, which is the 4th best business school in Europe, to award all our degrees. I am also the founder and board chairman of Ndecham Security. It's a private security company also based in Douala. I'm currently the CEO of Jure and Clifford company, which is also one of my businesses, and a chain of others. Maybe with time, we'll get to discover all of that. So I just wanted to give you a bit of that profile so that you have an idea of who is talking to you, because sometimes it's necessary. Jure and Clifford, we operate across 3 continents. We operate in Cameroon, which is Africa. We operate in London, which is Europe, and we operate in the United States of America, which is the Northern American continent. So with being able to operate this way, there are some things I had to gain along the process. And part of our teaching or part of our training at Sky High has to deal with employability skills, which is the most important thing about education, because we have 2 categories of skills. You have the soft skills and you have the hard skills, or the technical skills. The technical skills is a subject-based area where you are focusing on. Let's say you are studying to become a nurse. Your technical skills are what you learn as a nurse. But for you to be able to market yourself, you need those soft skills, which is a combination of that. And you also need employability skills. And that's what I'll be focusing on today. I'll be focusing on the type of skills you need. We'll talk about the type of CV you need. We'll also talk about the areas or the type of websites or where you can go to be able to source or identify job opportunities at international level. Remember, our focus here is the international level, not just Cameroon or Africa, the international level. That means you should be able to sit here and get and secure a job with the United Nations, for example, in New York, or with UNESCO, or with UNICEF, or with the refugee United Nations Refugee Committee, or whichever, with FIFA, with FIFA, with CAF, or any international organization. Why not? It's very possible. Others have done it, so I believe you also have the potentials to do it. So coming straight on to, before we get in, any questions or any concerns?
Nothing for now.
Okay. All right, perfect. I just like to ask, if you have any issue, you can, if you have a question, just drop it in the chat box. I will definitely see it and I'll definitely react to it. Starting first of all with what you call employability skills. Employability skills has to do with the the extra skills you need to secure in order to make yourself, you as the individual, marketable. To be able to market yourself, you have that some other basic skills that you need to learn. Unfortunately, for those who study in Cameroon, our universities or the state universities don't really teach that at all. I went to UB, I can say this 100%. Nobody ever taught me how to write a CV. Nobody ever taught me how to write, apply for a job, prepare a motivation letter, or how to even go for an interview. And those are basic yet very important skills that you need. Employability skills kind of like puts you ahead of your peers. Remember, there's something about the CV, the curriculum vitae that we're talking about. It will never get you a job. Do you know that? Your CV will not get you a job. Do you know that? Or are you surprised? Your CV cannot get you a job. Your CV has one responsibility: to secure you an interview. That's the duty of your CV, to secure you an interview, which you can now go and market yourself in front of whoever or whatever panel is interviewing you. That's the intentions of a CV.
I agree to that, sir. In fact, I'm an example of that.
Thank you.
I agree to that.
Thank you. So the purpose of a CV is just to make someone look at you in paper and imagine that I wish I had this person working for me. That's the essence of a CV. So they'll now look at it and then they now invite you in to maybe for a few questions. Now invite you in for an interview where you now have the opportunity to market yourself face to face. So that is the essence of a CV. A CV has never been to get you a job. There is, I can say in 1,000 recruitments, only 2 persons, only 2 out of such can be able to say they send their CVs and they just call them to come and start working. Even before calling you to come and start working, if they don't want to call you for an interview, they will still ask you some basic questions over the phone. So your CV is only like, you know, let me put it like a Christian. You know, before Jesus came, he sent John the Baptist, right, to prepare the way for him. Or John the Baptist came preparing the way for him. That's what the CV is. It's just to go notify people that, oh, we have this type of person who is a potential candidate that can be a part of this particular company. So, Dr. Jobet, am I allowed to share my screen? Please
yes.
give me permission to
yes,
be
go
able
ahead.
I have some content that I'd like to share. Okay. All right, I'll be using some of Sky High's content to talk on it. Employability skills, I just talked of it, so I needed to show you some of it, and it's easier when I kind of present. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
I can see, sir.
Perfect.
Okay, great. So employability skills are literally skills that make you employable. So it covers a broad range of, it's a mixture of academic and softer skills and your ability to be able to show how valuable you'll be at the workplace. That's what employability skills is all about. So according to the the Confederation of British Industry, they found out that 86% of employers consider employability skills and as the most important factor when recruiting people. We're talking about things like, okay, these are them. Self-management. How do you know how to manage yourself? The readiness to accept responsibility, your flexibility in nature, your time management skills, your readiness to improve on your own performance. Are you the type that the moment your manager calls you that, oh, Julia, you didn't do this the right way. Your countenance changes instantly. You become moody or you start arguing. Employers are not looking for such people. They're looking for people that are like always ready to accept responsibility, not giving excuses. It's actually a skill you learn. You literally train yourself not to complain. You don't say it's natural, it's part of me. No, you actually train yourself for it. Another aspect is team working. Your team working spirit is very challenging to work solo now. No organization, most companies or most international organizations nowadays do what you call the project-based execution. Project-based means everything is considered a project. That means they bring together a team of different experts in different categories. They bring them together and ask them to work on a project. For example, let's say the United Nations want to carry out a particular project in Oku village. Oku is somewhere in the Northwest. To be able to carry that out, they'll need a series of people. Let's say they want to build a school. They'll need an architect. They'll need a communications director. They'll need an IT person. They'll need an electrician. They'll need a driver. They'll need all of that. So they bring them together that, okay, you guys are a team. You have to work on this particular project. So you need to learn how to work as a team. That is why, let me give you a basic secret before we continue. Whenever you are writing your CV, never you say you love playing golf. Golf is like a one-man game. Rather, if you say you're a fan of football, don't understand that because football is about team spirit. They play as a team, not an individual. When they start saying that, yes, those are your type of hobbies. I'm talking about your hobbies. They look at all of those things, they consider all of those things. When they see that, yes, this person is kind of a team player, can fit in. But if you start mentioning things, I love reading, they start thinking you're more of a solo person. If nobody talks to you, you focus on your reading. It's nice to read, no doubt. I don't say it's not wrong. Respecting others, cooperating with others, being able to negotiate, being able to persuade others, listening to others' opinion, agreeing with them or disagreeing with them, but being able to verify or make them understand what exactly or why exactly you're holding that particular position or opinion. That's what team spirit is all about. Business and customer awareness. This is something that before, like when you're working in a company, every company has a vision, it has a mission, it has its goals. It knows they have customer base, they know exactly where they're heading to. And you need to understand all of that, the in and out of that business. I can tell you that all of my businesses, if you wake me up at any time and ask me any question about it, I'll be able to tell you. Why? Because everything I build it for cash. Work I did on my own. I think I don't think there's any of my businesses that someone helped me with the paperwork. Be it website content, be it drafting the visions and everything about the company, be it the logo, designing, all of that, the concept and everything. That's how you need to understand the business. Even when going for an interview, don't just go for an interview to go discover the company there. The moment you're invited for an interview, go on that company's website, read about the company. Just Google the name of that company just Google it. When you Google it, you see a lot of articles around that company. Read all of that. It gives you a broader or a wider base of what you're looking for. So you need to have that basic understanding. Also have that understanding of what the customers are looking for, what the customers of that company are looking for. You might just be that particular solution provider who the company has been looking for. If you just come in, you're like, oh, I noticed your customers have been complaining about this aspect, thinking guys do this, or if we could do, or all of those things. Some managers are like, how do I put it? They're almost like Nazis, or sorry, that's too harsh. They don't have a conscience. Psychopaths, yes, that's the best word. They hate being challenged. So you need to learn how to communicate. That's part of the soft skills or the employability skills. How to put a problem through or a solution through in a way that they will be happily receive it and not think or feel that you are challenging them. The next skill that is core to employability skills, solving skills. Being able to analyze facts, being able to look at circumstances, being able to think creatively, and coming up with some solutions or suggestions that will help the company or the organization, wherever you find yourself. Those are some skills that you need. In continuation of that, you have communication and literacy skills. Application of literacy skill, your ability to produce clear, structured, written work, both oral and written. Like communication is important. Imagine you're a qualified medical doctor. Oh, sorry. Imagine you're a qualified medical doctor and yet you cannot communicate. Patients will come to you, it'll be challenging for you to even meet their expectations, but you are very good maybe in the theater and all of that. No, employers are not looking for those type of people these days. They're looking for people who can easily communicate. Okay, let me just give you an example. What I'm saying right now, are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And it's well able to identify, do you notice any grammatical errors that I'm using, some wrong statements that I'm using?
No.
So that is part of the skills you need to develop. You need to literally learn. It doesn't just happen. If you ask Dr. Jobe, he'll tell you straight that he did not just start talking very well in conferences and he's highly admired. The talking, most of it always starts behind closed doors. That sometimes when I'm going to present, I remember during my PhD in Anglo-Russia, I came overall third in a annual research conference presentation. I came overall third in my presentation. Not that my work was good, but the way I presented. But before going to do that, I literally locked myself in my room and I was looking at the mirror and talking and walking a particular way. And all of that, I did that continuously to perfect myself. Application of numeracy, that's another one. A lot of us hate maths. Even I hate maths. But you need to have basic manipulation of numbers. You need to have a basic understanding of it. Have that general understanding. It helps you a lot. Just the basic. Don't go for, I'm not saying go for in-depth understanding of it. Numeracy is very, very important. They shouldn't ask you 12 minus 2 and you are looking for a calculator to do that. Then the last important one is the application of information technology. If you don't have basic knowledge in computer and technology, please go and learn. Technology is the core to everything now. Organizations are very particular about that. Imagine during COVID in 2020, imagine people who did not know how to use the computer, the internet, and all of those things. You could not commute, you could not work online. I was in the UK during the entire lockdown. I was in the UK up to, I think, May, then I left for the US. Throughout my stay we went on a lockdown in March 23rd. I stayed indoors, but yet I still lectured, delivered my lectures to my students to prepare them until they were able to finish in June. So imagine if I did not have those skills, then I would have probably lost my job. The truth is, we've gone past that stage where employers used to say, okay, we'll just hire someone and then we'll train the person on the job. No, that has disappeared. Employers are looking for people that will start working from day one. There's nothing like training before you start working. No. Why? Because we have the rate of graduates that we have at 20 times more than what employers are looking for. For example, the United Kingdom alone graduates 10,000 plus MBA students every year. 10,000 plus. students graduate with an MBA every year. So the only thing that can make you stand out from others is your employability skills. Let's not go that far. Look at our state universities. How many students was University of Boya, University of Yaoundé 1, Yaoundé 2, Bamenda, and is it Ngaoundé or which one? How many of them? How many students graduate with a bachelor degree every year? If you look at it, you'll be amazed. We're looking at around 50,000 students annually. So what will make you different from that person? I talked about my own self initially. I started out studying law. I did a bachelor degree in law, then I did a master's in international law. Okay, that is good. But along the line, as my interest fell more on business, I decided to go in for MBA. So that's where I digressed now and took my MBA and continued with my PhD. Now I am balanced in a way that when I'm going to an employer, the employer will look at me that, oh, this guy has basic knowledge in law. If I'm going for to a company, he has the skills in business. He has a DBA and a PhD in business. That's a master's in law. That's already a plus for him, because in my operations, I already have an understanding of legal issues that might come up, and I'll have potential solutions or ideas on how to solve that. Don't be the type that, oh, you write very well on the paper, but you cannot type. You cannot type it on the computer, or you cannot do basic editing on the computer. Those are simple employability skills. So this is exactly what I was saying. So according to the CBI survey that they carried out, it was concluded that 70% of employers want to see university students doing more to prepare themselves to be effective in the workplace. That means they want to see the extra skills. That means if you graduate, when you graduate, go pick up some IT skills and learn. Go pick up some project management skills. And Prince 2 is project management for the UK, certified. And PMP, that's project management professional, which is mostly used in the US, certified. I am Scrum Master. Scrum Master is a new project management that just came out. I'm also certified in that. I am NEBOSH, that's health and safety. NEBOSH fire certified, NEBOSH oil and gas certified. I don't do those things, not because I'm looking for a job, because I want to have those basic knowledge. If I want to go look for any job now, I have all the basic skills, which it makes me more well-grounded. And that is exactly what employers are looking for. The employer will be like, wow, if you could do all of these things, or with all of this, you can actually help the business more. So the key thing I'll need you to do today is to carry out a self-awareness SWOT analysis of yourself. A self-awareness SWOT analysis. SWOT is a business tool, but I need you to use it on your personal self today. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Right now, what strengths do you have as an individual? If you're applying for a job, what current strengths do you have? What are the strong points that will give you that particular job? Then what are the weaknesses? That means the skills you don't yet have. Okay, to better demonstrate this, I will quickly go on to LinkedIn. Let me quickly go to LinkedIn. Okay, let's look for a job. Let's say marketing director jobs. LinkedIn is one of the places that your CV or your profile need to be perfect there, because you can easily be hire through LinkedIn. A lot of employers are on LinkedIn. So if you have a crazy profile on Facebook, that's all right. Facebook is not the professional side, but LinkedIn think differently. So I'm trying to look for a job description. Marketing director. Okay, if you look at this, these are the descriptions. Just a moment. I want to show you something specific. Exactly. This in my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. So look, I was talking about the strength and the weaknesses. When you pick up any job description, you go to the requirements. When you look at the requirements, that's where you start identifying the things that they're asking. Okay, bachelor degree in business or marketing. Tick, that's a strength. You have that already. You might even have a master's. That places you above. Demonstrate experience with strategic planning, marketing, and or project management and business development. Do you have experience in that? If yes, how can you demonstrate it? If no, then that's a weakness for you. Then essential skills, proven business development and marketing experience. Proven. That means in your CV, we're coming to the CV soon. I just hope we are not caught up with time. We are coming to the CV soon. That means in your CV, you should be able to expressly show them how you have been able to gain business development and marketing experience skills. Proficiency in Microsoft applications. I just talked about IT. So those are basic skills. Do you have that? If you have that, that's a strength for you. If you have that, if you don't have, that's a weakness for you. It works against you. Effective communication and oral and written skills. This is, look at them. These are basic things. Excellent analytical problem solving and decision making skills. I just talked of all of these things a few minutes ago, right? Using a sky high PowerPoint. But look at it here in a job description. I went on LinkedIn. It's not like I prepared it, no. Ability to manage multiple projects simultaneously. Then detail-oriented and emphasis on organizational reporting and presentation ability. So that is how you now identify, okay, these are the requirements. What skills do I have? What do I lack? Once you've identified the weaknesses, you now think of how can I, or what practical steps can I take to secure the skills that I don't currently have? That's what you do. What practical steps can I take to secure the skills that I don't currently have? There is a personal, I'm not sure we'll have time to talk about that today. That is where you come up with a personal development plan, PDP. A personal development plan is where you now you sit down personally and evaluate yourself. What skills do I have? What do I lack? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? You write it. What will I need to be able to achieve that? How will I achieve it? You write all of those things down. The how part, you start taking the steps at once. You even specify on it the date you'll be able to evaluate whether you've achieved those skills or you've attained that level or not. Personal development plan is very important. You do that for yourself. So that we will end there for employability skills so that I can move into something else. Any questions at the moment? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, if there are no questions, then let's continue to the next aspect. Okay, I think I have it here already. How to secure jobs. Some job career, some websites for international jobs that you can use. You know, there are two categories of international jobs. You have jobs with companies and you have jobs with international organizations. I hope Mr. Bonta will be here because he's one of those I admire so much. All my life that I've known him, he's always worked with international organizations. So securing a job with an international company requires you to think internationally, and your research base also has to be internationally. The first thing, like I talked about, is that go to LinkedIn and create your profile there. Let's look at, let me show you my profile on LinkedIn so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. I've received, almost every day I receive job offers. I receive job offers because even some offering me position to be a board member in companies and all of those things because of my profile. Clifford Ndecham, okay. This is my profile. Where's the basic summary? Okay, this is the basic summary. I am a business development consultant with over 5 years of experience working with national and multinationals, consulting smart solutions to organizations who are considering moving or operating in Africa. I have worked across industries and countries, carrying out business development and market research and advising on best entry strategies for new businesses. As a strategy expert with a DBA in business strategy, focusing around the blue ocean strategy in Africa, I have a better understanding of the Africa market and better position to advise multinationals considering moving to or expanding their operations in Africa. That's my CV summary, which when someone reads just this summary, he'll definitely gain interest in me and want to know more about me. If he was looking for someone to hire or looking for someone to consult, then yeah. Why? Because I've put in some key things. We will soon go out, probably pull out a sample CV to talk you through on what I'm talking about. So yes, profile on LinkedIn should really be well done. Make sure it is well edited, even your CV. One stupid grammatical error on your CV can cost you a job. When you apply for a job, just know that you are one of 1,000 others that are applying for that job. And so employers have a way of eliminating CVs. Most of it is always this summary paragraph. Just with that, they start eliminating. Then they now go to probably educational level, they start eliminating. Just like that, they start stepping or bringing it down. So if you look on your screen, these are some websites that you can easily look for jobs on. Prospects is available across Europe and America. Monster, you have graduate jobs. You have Michael Page. There are a lot of those platforms. Now, the thing is, I don't want to, what I'm giving you is generic. If I know your specific area, maybe after this, you can take my email address. If you reach out to me with your subject area or the area you like to specify, I can send you specific links. That means job search links or websites where you can go for jobs in that particular area. So, but there are different platforms. So rather, let's just focus on getting your profile the right way. Now, let's go straight to your CV. Sorry, I don't know why. Okay, let's go to it. This is it. Now, we have this tendency, especially in Cameroon. It's very common in Cameroon, where one CV, you write one CV and you print out 2,000 copies and you start moving from one office to the other and dropping it. You see any job advertisement online, you just upload that same CV. No, no, no. The most challenging part of a job is the applying part, writing those CVs. I can say this because when I was applying for a lecturing job, I edited my CV more than 200 times because each time I saw a new job description, I had to rework on my CV. No two companies have the same job descriptions. Even if they have the same, even if it's the same job title, something must be different about it, about that business. So you have to always make sure you tailor your CV to that particular job description. So before you prepare your CV, make sure you read through the job description. When you read through the job description, you need to understand it now, and then you can now come up with some identify some keywords, because the keywords that they've put into that job description, which you will need to mention in your CV, which when they see that, because human resources, HR now have a lot of softwares that they use to eliminate applications. So sometimes you just use keywords, and some of the keywords are within the job description that they give out. So sometimes they use those keywords to just put it in. When you understand that you use it in your CV, it gives you a higher chance. So preparing for your CV, you start by identify the employer's needs. What does the job description say? What is the employer looking for in terms of the skills? You need to identify all of that. Then once you've identified what the employer needs, the next is identify your own skills. List all your skills and experiences and even achievements that you have. And then identify what your transferable skills. Identify the transferable skills. Transferable skills are skills that you pick up from a job which you can use in another company. For example, let's say you were a marketer with PMUC, and then you are now applying for a job with Activa Insurance. Those are like two different companies, but there are some skills from PMUC that you definitely picked up, which you can transfer to Activa if you end up getting the CV. You have to make mention, while working, or your cover letter, while working with PMUC as a marketing director, I've been able to gain the following skills, which I believe will be valuable to your company. You specify those skills and all of that. Then the next is mind the gap. That means identify the gap. Identifying the gap means what the employer is looking for and what you have, what is lacking. That means what do you lack out of the key things that the employer has listed in the job description. Remember, I said that CV must be tailored to the job description. What is the employer looking for? When you identify now, you now start thinking of how to acquire those relevant skills. What steps can you take to gain them? How can you mitigate them? And then from there, write the CV. Read this, it's very important. Write the CV through the employer's eyes. That means give the employer what the employer is looking for. It's very important. That's why I said, don't use one CV for two jobs. Read the wordings of the job description and use most of those keywords to be able to come out with your own CV. That's very important. Then always show evidence of the key skills and achievements that you have. Always show proof of that. It's very important. Now, I'm thinking of the best way to do this. I'm just using content because it guides me properly to be able to focus, stay focused. So let's look at here we have two CVs. Let's look at a good CV and a bad CV. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Are you there?
Yes, sir,
Yes, sir, we can see your
Good.
screen.
Tell me some of the things that are wrong with this CV.
Okay,
I
sir. The
think-
first thing I discovered there is the picture.
The picture, right?
Yes, sir.
What's he marketing? Is it his chest? Is he probably trying to market? How do you call it? Oh,
You want to the one that
where they
you
remove, where they do hair remover, waxing, like chest waxing or what? So that's the first issue. Then go now to personal profile.
The
This
first
is
word there
actually-
is the mistake there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So imagine any employer picking up this CV. He's first of all, imagine if it was a lady. She's first of all like disappointed with that picture. Then, okay, the employer decides that, okay, let me just ignore the picture and look at the next thing. Personal profile. The first word is wrong. A master. He's trying to say a master student studying MBA marketing, a good team player, where my specialized oral skills help me. My unique marketing skills demonstrate my research ability and my enthusiastic and growth mindset, actively seeking a career in finance consulting. Please, if your CV is this way, I beg of you, go and rework on it. Make sure it is properly edited. And the best way, give it to someone else to read, go through your CV. Because since you are the one that wrote it, you might not even notice some of the errors in it. But if you give someone else to look at it, you'll be amazed. They'll help you. It's very important. Get a professional to help you with your CV. Nothing wrong with that. So then look at it. Look at the different font sizes and font types that he used. All of this thing is misleading. He used like 1, 2, 3, 4 different font types within a heading. No, it should be uniform. Okay, let's look at work history. Let's look at it. Work history. May 2009 to March 2010. Adidas. I'm sure he means Adidas. Hyderabad, that's India. Customer service agent. And this is an actual CV. This is not created. It's an actual CV that someone wrote. When working there, I sold insurance stuff to customers, gave very good service by better sales technique. So the customer problems. So guys, this is funny, but it is something that can cost you a job. So let's look at the next one on this next one. Oh, that's a continuation of it. Let's look at the second one. This one now is how your international CV should look like. Some of you were asking for a template. Just see the name. He's put the name there, right? John Smith. Did you see his date of birth there? Did you see his age? His marital status?
Nope.
His Christianity? His
Nope.
height? His village that he's coming from?
Nothing.
Exactly. The most important thing is his address. And what they're looking for is his phone number and his email address. That's the most important thing. When you're applying for international jobs, please, I know the French system has so corrupted us that we start doing all of those things. I don't blame anybody because we're just copying from others. But your CV, they should not know whether you're male or you're female even, whether you're single or you're married. They should not know your age. All of that does not matter. They should call you for an interview based on what the CV is presenting. When I was called for my marketing job, for my lecturing job in the UK, the interview we went 5 of us. I was the only black guy, and the rest were Brits. That means the actual white British people. But I got the job and they didn't. My CV just said Clifford Ndecham. Yeah, Clifford is a male, no doubt. But they could not know whether I was black or white or whatever. It's when I showed up that they probably realized. But when I entered for the interview, it was a very lengthy interview. You have to do a 15-minute lecture. You have to mark some students' papers. Then you have to now prepare. Before going, you have already prepared a teaching plan and all of those things. They send a particular subject for you to prepare a lecture for 15 minutes that will engage students and all of those things. So they prepare you for that. So they did not look at, there were no other information on my CV that could give me out. It was just my name, my address, my phone number, and my email address. So it's when I got there that they were like, hey, you are that young. They asked me, then what age was I? I think I just turned 23, if I'm not mistaken. So they were now instead concerned. They were like, we have students that are older than you in class. Will you be able to cope? I was like, I'm the teacher and they're the students. The difference will always be clear. So then now go to the personal profile. Look at it. Multilingual business studies undergraduate, currently completing an MBA in global business, proven customer service skills combined with an excellent understanding of business finance, gained working in the audit and finance field, actively seeking a career in financial consulting. You see, is that straightforward? Is that clear? You read it, you say, yes, this is what I'm looking for. Then from there, the person goes to educational qualification. Please, 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 your first school has no business on your CV. Your O-levels have no business on your CV. Don't start listing GSS backside. First school living set, it has no business. Remove it. Secondly, your O-levels. If you have a bachelor degree already, you don't need your O-levels. And at your A-levels. So you simply put the year, the year, and always start with the most recent. If you notice here, it started in 1997 where he had A-levels. The year, the school, and the award you got. Then you go to the next one. You state the year, the school, and the degree that you got. You don't dwell that much inside. To be honest, they don't want to see that much in your education. Let me actually open one of my CVs and show you. Let me not just use the artificial one. Let me show you what I have used so that you can see what I'm talking about. Saving the champ. Okay, let me use this one. All right. An innovative entrepreneur and a versatile business development and marketing expert with a master's in business administration and over 5 years extensive experience working across Europe, Africa, and America in diverse industries. I have enjoyed great success in devising and delivering growth strategies for startups and large multinationals. And through this, I have gained excellent leadership skills and interpersonal communication skills, having worked with diverse teams and organizations. Notice the way my summary is. I've already talked of who I am. I've talked of my qualification. I've talked of what I've done. I've talked of the skills I've gained as a result of doing what I did within about 3 to 4 lines. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, you can see the screen, but not see your summary.
Yes, I just noticed that the sharing was, I moved. So, okay, I noticed sometimes it's a bit challenging. I'm more used to Google Classrooms than Zoom. Yes, can you see it now?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, this is my CV. This is one of my CVs. So you see, okay, look at my education. Remember I said, don't put first score on your CV, right? This is when this CV was done in 2018, when I had not finished my second PhD. So notice where I start, Bachelor of Laws. Right now, I literally can remove Bachelor of Laws. I don't need that again. I go straight to my master's in business administration in oil and gas management, then my PhD sustainability, then my DBA business strategy. So when you look at it, I did not do much on my education. But the most important thing, the professional experience. This CV was designed for, how do I put it? It was not for a job, it was for a board member position within a major company in the US. So I had to give focus around giving a lot. The profile here is very detailed. But I gave a summary of my company. Then I now went to what I have been doing as Chief Executive Officer of the company. And notice, let's look at just about 2. Directing and controlling the work and resources of the company and ensure the recruitment and retention of the required members and types of well-motivated, trained, and developed staff to ensure that another person would have just ended staff. But this part is what shows why you understand why I am recruiting, where I now justify, like when I'm recruiting, what I'm aiming to achieve. It's the same when you're talking about your job, what you did in the previous job. You always specify what you have done and how it helped the company through my actions or sales and marketing, through which I was able to secure over 30% turnover for the company. That's what employers are looking to hear. So when you look at it, the profile is clear. Then I go to the next one. So the work experience, the professional experience, that's where you need to be detailed about. It's not around your education. It's not around your education. Then calm down now, you have your skills, your different skills that you are good in. You can list that at the end. Then your different achievements. No achievement is too small. We'll be talking soon on experiences, what you can put as experiences. None is too small. Then hobbies. Look at my interests and hobbies. Keen observer of international political trends, reading, and a lover of football. Because football is team player, reading also shows that I can focus and actually read or study. And business goes along with international politics, the trends, having a mastery of current affairs. So that's why I picked out those three. Which, do you want to really know my hobbies? Should I tell you? My real or actual hobby is watching movies and sleeping or eating. But if I put down my profile, yeah, it will work against me. Of course, I love my international politics and following all of that. I mean, all of these things, I love them. However, the things I really, really wish I'll be doing is watching movies, eating and sleeping, or traveling. Then references, don't go give it that, oh, Mr. This. You know, once you put in your CV and you say, what if you fall out with the person? So always put available on request. Let them request it so that when they request it, that's when you can now reach out to the person and ask if they're okay with that, and then you can provide the details. Avoid always already writing down your referees. There's no point on that. So have I left out anything? Because I was thinking we end here now, and then I'll take a few questions. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
So, what is the in the position of education and qualifications? Do we have a maximum number of qualifications that you can put there, or you just put any that you like?
You don't have any maximum or any minimum. What you need to do is, how beneficial is that qualification to what you are applying for? That's the question you should ask.
Okay.
Yes, focus on that. Your first score has no benefit. Do you even have the certificate? You wrote it right. Has the certificate ever come out?
No, I don't have.
So some people even go to the extent of putting common entrance, which is just an entry examination. So forget about that. Forget about A levels. You can, sorry, O levels. You can put O levels if the job asks for English proficiency and you pass GCE English level. You can then mention that. If not, there's no point about that. Start straight with your advanced level. I can no longer go down to advanced level or even bachelor degree, because the more you study, the more irrelevant the other previous qualifications you had become. So that's why I can't go down to be talking about advanced level. But when I had just a bachelor degree, I used to be proud to put PSS Mancon, GCE advanced level, 4 papers. It no longer has any use for me now. So as you study, that's how you eliminate some of them. So when someone pick up my profile now and see me end just at masters, he looks at it differently because I'm based at that level, or that's my current qualification. Okay, any other question?
Okay, sir. Then one last one. When I look at your CV, it's like it's having about 3 pages or so. So do we have a number of pages that it should take?
Not at all. Yes, CV should not be more than 2 pages, actually. Remember, I met an observation, said this CV, okay, let me get a simple, a different CV so that you see what I'm talking about, so that it should not be misleading. Okay, this is a very old CV. This has just 2 pages. Your CV should not be more than 2 pages. So this is a simple one, which, yes, I was applying for a job, for a business development director job. So it was just simple 2 pages. Don't make it that lengthy. You make it lengthy, it's like if Jabed was to apply for a lecturing job now in a major university, he will have to have a longer CV because he needs to actually explain what he's achieved in training people. If a company like, let's say the Tony Lumelu Foundation reached out to him that would like you to be one of our board members, his CV has to be lengthier than the standard CV he would have used if he was applying for the position of a director in a company. So it depends on the circumstances. That's why I mentioned earlier that this particular CV is different because it was for a board membership position. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I noticed that LinkedIn generates CV. So is that one something that somebody can use in applying for job, or someone should generate this type?
Well, LinkedIn generates CV. I actually have a LinkedIn CV, which I generated as well. But you should bear in mind that they generate what you gave them. Okay, this is my LinkedIn CV.
Okay.
Yes, it generates what you gave them. So all the information that it generates is information that was imputed by you. So this is my LinkedIn CV. If you look at it, it still has the standard information.
Okay, sir.
But everything was imputed by me into it. So bear that in mind.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions, guys? Any other questions?
Not sure.
If there are no other questions, this is I'll drop my email address here so that if you are looking for jobs in a particular area, send me an email and I'll reply the email with specific links of the type of jobs or where the websites that you can go to apply for such jobs.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So thank you all so much. I'll hand over back to Dr. Jabed.
We're grateful, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hello. Awesome. Thank you so much for that intelligent session. And I hope that we picked a lot of interesting lessons. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have copied the email so that in case you read it.